Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Crafty Concepts with Erin. I'm really excited. I have here on my desk the March and April catalogs. We're about a week away until the launch date, but I'm going to show you a little sneak peek. There is this Daisy Meadows card making workshop, and this is adorable. This is so cute. I saw this little garden archway and knew I had to have it. I'm going to show you how to make an Easter card with this set. So there's the cute little banner and then the little flower dies in there. And let me give you a little bit closer look at the actual stamp set. So you can see it says, "In every garden a little rain must fall, and sending a garden of birthday wishes." Super cute. So in the kit, you get everything to make 16 cards, 4 of each design. But again, I'm going to show you, we're going to use this die set and create an Easter card. So I'm starting with my stitched rectangle die, and then we'll need the Carolina ink, and I'm also using Mowed Lawn Distress Oxide. I'm going to do some ink blending, so I'm going to bring in my all-purpose mat so I have a nice cleanable surface. Now I got this blending brush on Amazon, and a lot of people use makeup brushes, or you can buy the craft brushes. I find that the ink goes on very light and soft with these brushes, so it does take a little bit longer to get coverage, and I'm avoiding the center area. I purposely want that to be lighter. So I'm going to wipe that up and then switch to my Mowed Lawn Distress Oxide. So I used the Carolina to create the sky, and now I'm using the Mowed Lawn to create my grassy area along the bottom of the card. So the Distress Oxides, when I use them, I tend to get fingerprints everywhere. So I like to just put a little piece of tape, and that way I don't get my fingers inky and dirty. So I'm just going across the bottom and working that color in, and now we're ready to do some stamping. So there's these two little grass sprigs, and it's nice because they're kind of going different directions, and I'm using that same Mowed Lawn, and I'm going to stamp across the lower front portion of this card. So I'm doing some first generation stamping, some I'll stamp again before inking so we get that second generation, and I'm doing varied heights as well. So I think this is looking really cool. I think that looks good. And now we're ready to bring in our garden arch. So I have the die. I'm going to cut out several panels from the White Daisy cardstock. Isn't that adorable? I don't know why, I just love it. So I cut 3 panels, and I'm going to use my Tombow Mono liquid glue to glue these together. And this is just going to give it some height, dimension, and some substance to it. When you have an intricate die like this, it's a little bit difficult to adhere dimensional foam. So this is an easy way around that. And by using liquid glue, it's so easy to line up the pieces and just slide them right into place. So I repeated that with all 3, and I'm going to put a block on top to dry. Now I am usually a stamp first and then die cut, but with these tiny roses, we're going to die cut them first and then stamp. So you see this little rose image here, and I'm going to use raspberry ink, and we're just quickly going to stamp each one of those little tiny white die cuts. I just found when I stamped it first, it was so tiny, it was kind of a challenge to line up the die, so this was definitely easier. So we're just gonna quickly go and cover all of these roses here. And some of them I'm not getting perfectly, but that's okay. I'll either kind of hide it when we're embellishing the card, or I can always trim off if I have like too much white showing on one side. So now I'm taking these little ivy pieces here. Our die cut layers are dry, so we're going to take the avocado ink up our little ivy, and they're leaves, so it's not really an ivy leaf, but some type of vine. And we're stamping this just on either side of the little trellis here, like it's growing up the archway. So pretty. And so there's this straight piece, and then there's the curved pieces that curve to the left and curve to the right. So you can easily incorporate those around the curvature of the archway. So this avocado color, I like this. It works really well, and I think it complements that Mowed Lawn ink also. So here I just have a little piece. So I'm going to wipe that off and just ink up a few of the leaves and fill in that little gap, and that looks perfect. Okay, so our arch is going to go kind of in the center here. And now I want to add, there's these little independent leaves that match the leaves on our vine. So what I'm doing is just stamping those so they look like they're kind of coming off, growing out from the archway. And I think that gives it a lot of dimension. We have the stamping on the paper and the stamping on the archway, and it just looks really cool and gives it a very realistic look. So I went ahead and did that and glued down my archway, and now I'm just going to place these roses around the edges, and I want to make sure they're staggered in heights. I don't want anything symmetrical matching across to the other side. I'm also playing around with stacking some of the roses on top of each other. I'm going to try tucking that behind the archway, and I think that looks good. It adds just an element of interest there. And these little flowers are jumping out of my hands, but I think I've got them wrangled and under control. So that looks good, and we're ready to stamp our sentiment. I left the inside of that center of the archway lighter in color. It looks white, but there is the blue inking there, but it's lighter, and I think that kind of highlights our sentiment. So this is the Happy Easter Bunny from last year, but it is still available. So that is where this sentiment came from, and of course that bunny is adorable, and I will have some cards featuring that cute rabbit coming up very soon. And in the March catalog, there's another adorable bunny. So I'm going to mat this on ballerina cardstock. So I'm just going to use a little liquid glue, and then we will glue this down to our panel so we have that nice ballerina pink border around the edge there. So of course our Easter card needs a bunny, and I have this little bunny that was already left over on my desk from the Snuggle Up stamp set, and it's super adorable, but I think he's a little bit too big. What do you guys think? I mean, I don't know. It's your world. You can create however you want. But then I saw this little bunny from the Spruced Up card making stamp, and I thought, ooh, the scale is perfect. So I stamped this in toffee and then one in pewter. And I'm going to layer these two little bunny rabbits. Now, I've put that one over the archway, so this one needs a little foam tape because remember that archway is 3 paper layers thick. So I'm putting foam on the back and then a little glue on his nose, and we'll overlap him just a little bit there. So I probably could have gotten away with this adorable little bunny, but I think the smaller scale maybe worked a little better. I don't know. What do you guys think? So I'm adhering this whole panel down to my card base for my white cards and envelopes value packs. And now we have that pop of white around the edge, and I love all those layers together. And this card's done. What a fun little scene we've created. I love it. It's so pretty. I did create an additional card. Let me show you that variation. And I just added more flowers along the bottom there. And I think that's a fun look as well. So you can get really creative. Some little butterflies up in the sky would be really whimsical. So I hope you guys are as excited about this Daisy Meadows card making kit as I am. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next video.